Hey, everybody, it's me, Dave Schrader from the Paranormal 60, Ghosts of Devil's Perch, and the Holzer Files. And for some reason, you're tuned in to the Paranomaly Zone.
A ghostly apparition in the dark at night.
Patrick,
Good Lord, yes.
I have a question for you. Now, this is something that I've thought about over the years. Well, actually, probably since the mid 70s, when Star Wars came out. Okay, so off and on, I thought about this, but it's really becoming more prevalent. So I have to ask you this question. Now, if you can answer this, it'll help me a lot because this will totally get it out of my mind, and I won't have to think about it again.
I'm nearly dying with
I know.
anticipation
Okay.
here.
So, Chewbacca, Chewie, our good friend Chewie, Han
Yes.
Solo's cohort in whatever he did.
Where is this going?
Well, think of this. Okay, to me, he looks a lot like a Bigfoot. Okay, it could be in that realm, just from another planet, from another galaxy, or it could be, maybe he pops in and out through these portals and joins the Bigfoot in the great Northeast. But anyway, so
Okay. So 1 second.
yes,
So you're saying there's a possibility that Chewbacca could be like not only an interstellar,
yes,
interstellar Sasquatch,
interdimensional, yeah,
but potentially also, yes, I was going to say a interdimensional,
right.
universe spanning hairy tall guy who hangs out with Harrison Ford.
It would be like a long-haired version of a Bigfoot, I think.
He is pretty shaggy.
Yeah, but the question I haven't even asked the question yet.
And this, to be clear, this question has been on your mind since the 1970s.
Yes,
since before you knew me.
Yes, I mean when I've told the story before where I went to see Star Wars in the theater.
Yes.
When it first came out, that first one, and knowing about Bigfoot long before that, that connection kind of struck me right away.
Oh, I'm sure.
When
Absolutely.
I saw the movie. Yeah. But the question I have, and this is going on way too long.
God, let's get to it.
Okay. Do you think, and I think we would have known this by the reactions of the other characters in the movie, but did Chewbacca smell as bad as a Bigfoot, knowing that they could possibly be related in any way? Hey.
Good Lord Almighty. So that took about 3 minutes.
Well, it felt like 12.
And what has been on your mind since the 1970s?
No, that was all part of the story.
So the 1980s then. 1980s.
No, you and I, before going on air, we're trying to figure out how should we start the show. Do you want to start the show? and that popped
And
into my head, and
and
I had to go with it.
I love it. I love it
Mm.
because what popped into your head, Michael Carbonell's head, my co-host with the ghosts, the paranormal poster boy
Yes.
himself, at the beginning of an episode where we are going to be diving into the Devil's Hauntings, and yes, we will describe what we mean by that shortly here. What popped into your brain was whether or not Chewbacca smelled like ass.
Yeah, like moldy ass. Yeah.
Moldy ass, like
Yeah.
wet,
Yeah,
poop covered
moist,
dogs,
danglies, everything. You know,
Klingons.
Klingons. Yeah.
Hmm.
Mm.
Well,
Hemis.
to make a long
How do they take care of that?
to to make a very long, a painfully long opening segment
And I
short.
apologize.
Too late. No, that's fine. That's great. I would venture to say yes. I think Chewbacca stank to high heaven. And yes, I said stank. But I think good old Han Solo, he grew to love it. Just like
Yeah.
dog owners, they grow to love their stinky furry friends,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, but
Um,
that's can be pretty close quarters in that ship.
it's definitely close quarters in the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon, but I do believe that there are high functioning plumbing and shower systems
Hmm.
aboard the Millennium Falcon that I think Chewbacca probably utilized more often than
Yeah.
not at the behest of Han Solo. Han was a ladies' man. He's trying to bring up all these intergalactic ladies. He's picking
Hmm.
up from spaceport to
Yeah.
spaceport. He doesn't want to freak them out by bringing them aboard a smelly ass ship. He's like, God damn it, Chewie, hop in the shower.
Well, I
And he
tell you
did.
one thing, I wouldn't want to have to clean that drain. Yeah.
You
Anyway.
know, along those lines, I really find it intriguing that George Lucas, the amount of effort that went into the design of Chewbacca, his costume, his mask, all the hair, like you said, very long, dangly, scraggly looking hair. The one piece of wardrobe that he had was that bandolier
Right.
and nothing else.
Yeah.
And
Well, his hair covered the pertinent parts. You know.
pertinent.
Yeah.
The pertinent P,
Yeah.
perhaps? Okay, I'm done. I'm done. Sorry. Anyways, good to see you, Mike. Thank you for.
Sure. After all that.
Hey, it's worth it. If people are still listening right now, they are our friends, and
Right.
we appreciate them
Exactly.
so very much. Yes, this is the Paranormal Zone, your weekly dose, believe it or not, of all things paranormal, strange, and mysterious. My name is Patrick Hoffberg, and I am joined, as always, as I mentioned before, by my co-host with the Ghost, the Paranormal Poster Boy himself, the lovely, the talented, the sexy as hell, Mike Carbno. He's dangling his head in shame right now, so
Yeah. Yeah.
or embarrassment.
No,
I'm
no
not sure,
embarrassment there at all.
but it is kind of apropos, or it is pertinent to quote you that you mentioned Sasquatch sort of during your painfully long opening.
Hmm.
Already, you make me want to play your most despised soundbite, but I won't do it. I'll wait.
Yeah. Well,
I'll wait.
that's just me though. I mean, I don't think about it before I say that. It's like it just pops out. I mean,
I know.
but anyway, go ahead. Bigfoot.
But it is apropos a bit because we can't encourage you enough to go and listen and watch
Yes.
our chat with the awesome Ron Moorhead. We had the pleasure of speaking with him last Thursday. It was enlightening as always. The hour flew by. If you're interested in all things Sasquatch, Bigfoot, quantum Bigfoot, we really focus on that quite a bit
Yeah.
during our chat with Ron, and his like for, or his dislike for, overcooked salmon. He
Yeah.
did mention that.
Yeah. And we
Uh,
confused the hell out of them, but
we did.
watch or listen to the episode, the one after the Ron Moorhead, and I think you'll hear more explanation about that.
Yeah, we that was a Patreon episode, and
Oh, that's right. It was a Patreon. Sorry.
yeah, that no, that's a great way of bringing that up because hey, we have an awesome Patreon page, growing by leaps and bounds. We're up in the 80s as far as exclusive episodes go. Yeah, it's something that I and Mike are both quite proud of. It's a different side of the Paranormally Zone, but it's I don't want to say it's more of the same, but if you enjoy this type of content, we got a whole crap ton of stuff over there that you won't find anywhere else. Like I said, we're in the 80s now for exclusive episodes. Like Mike mentioned, we on the last one we humorously discuss how we confuse the F out of Ron during
Yeah.
our chats. Um,
Yeah. But he
I
seemed
don't
delighted too, like, oh, no, thank you.
very delighted, very delighted. If you wonder what we're talking about, yeah, you can sign up for a Patreon page for as little as $1 a month. And it's a blast. It's a work of passion for ours. All 138 Paranormally Zone episodes are going to be removed from all other podcasting platforms. And let's see, what is it, 22nd? In 8 days, they will no longer be available. If you want to listen to the back archive of all things Paranormally Zone, including all things Nonsense Cast Radio, all things Alternate Route Podcast, yes, those
Up
are our
to the date of
up
this
to the
episode. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. They will all be available up on the Patreon page, plus all of our ghost hunting, our personal ghost hunting excursions, video, audio, our own EVP captures, and so on and so forth. Anyways, we'd love to see you guys there. No better way to support the podcast. Mike, we got a good topic tonight, believe it or
We
not.
do. Yeah, it is it's very good.
And as it seems I am very good at doing, I sprung this on you at the last minute, and I apologize
That's okay. I can deal with it.
because we had a different plan of attack,
We
and
did.
we had a different topic at hand. We were going to record another Patreon exclusive episode, being at the let's see, let me do my math real quick. The 61st anniversary of the tragic JFK assassination. Yes, that was 61 years ago today. 61 years ago, Mike.
Yeah.
Today.
I was probably crawling around on the living room floor when my mom and dad were watching it on TV.
You were alive. You were alive
Mhm.
when that went down. We were going to talk all things JFK assassination on the Patreon.
The
But
conspiracies and whatnot.
yeah, absolutely. And
The
we were
babushka lady.
right. We were all set to go, and I changed my mind at the last
Yeah.
minute. And
Which you are apt to do at
I
times.
am very much so, very much so. And I apologize again, Mike. But again, I really like this. I really like this idea, the Devil's Hauntings. Now, what the hell do you mean by the Devil's Hauntings? That's what everyone out there right now, all 10 of you watching right now, are wondering. What does he mean by that?
Or they're going whatever as they flick the show off.
Right, exactly. Well, this is just an
Hit the
audio
button.
one, so they at least they haven't.
Well,
They're
yeah.
not being tortured by looking at our faces right now.
True.
So that's another aspect altogether.
My
But what do I
asshole
mean?
neck hangy face. Yeah. Anyway, I cut you off. Go ahead.
It's okay. Yeah, this is what Mike sounds like when he rolls out of bed. There he is.
That's what I sound like before I roll out of bed.
Oh, come on. So what do I mean? What do we mean by the Devil's Haunting? Well, there are many out there, perhaps half the world, who believe that all things paranormal, be it the seemingly most mundane visuals of an orb flying through your house, or an EVP you may capture on your digital recorder, or to a full body apparition. Any number of different paranormal encounters / experiences, Mike, they are all, in fact, demonic, evil in nature. A lot of people believe that. Now, I want to talk about that. You and I want to talk about that.
Absolutely.
So, shall we begin?
Go for it. I'm ready.
Or shall we continue to rant on nonsensically?
No.
Okay, I didn't think so.
I don't want to upset anybody.
Well, we probably
Again,
already have. Again and again and again. Well, how shall we start, Mike? I got my professional notes written down as usual, sloppily written. Doesn't matter. I can read them. That's all that matters.
That's right. I was just going to say that. I concur.
Yeah. And I actually have very nice handwriting, but when I'm writing my notes, it looks terrible.
Hmm.
Well, that's just how it is.
You have like a feminine wisp to your lettering.
Hey, and what's wrong with that? Nothing.
Not a thing. Not a thing. I use block letters myself. But
That's how I write. No, sincerely, that's how I write. I write in the all capitals. I
I,
just
I write in cursive. They aren't even teaching that in school
they
anymore.
don't teach it anymore. Yep, exactly.
Man.
It's there
But
was a kid
anyway,
today. I was
yeah.
actually writing in that, and there one of the students that I work with was like pointing out that I was writing that, like, they were amazed by this seemingly mundane, simple thing. It's like, is that cursive? I was like, yeah. I'm like, yes.
It's like landing a helicopter in the middle of a jungle with a tribe that has never had contact
Right, exactly.
with the
Oh my
human race,
gosh.
rest
Holy
of the
cow.
human race. Oh, but we are. I threw us way off track again.
No, it's okay, Mike. It's absolutely okay. So I'm
Okay.
looking at my notes, and I have some of the things I've written down are questions, obviously, like all ghosts, quote unquote, demonic in nature?
No,
Is there well, okay, we're done. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
no, but
Mike
it could.
answered the
No,
question right there.
no, no. We have to. There's a lot to go into, and I can't say no because we have to discuss it, figure it out, and that's where we'll go. We'll get it.
Well, and we should make perfectly clear too that I think chances are neither you nor me, myself, we're not going to change each other's minds
Right. Oh,
at the
exactly.
end of this discussion.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's safe to say that we are of one mind, so to speak, when it comes to this subject, but
Kind of
possibly for
kind of a small hive
a small hive.
mentality. The rest dropped out. Anyway, I
Okay,
know where
Mike
you're
has
going, and it's this needs to be discussed. Go ahead.
yes, and I have never used my mute button on my headset as often as I already did today because Mike makes me giggle, and I don't want to giggle very much
Jeez. I
on
just
my.
let it go. It's part
Yeah,
of life.
my microphone's too sensitive though. It sounds like I'm shoving it up places
Mm.
that it shouldn't go. So the notes again, all ghosts is demonic in nature. Mike already answered that.
Well,
And then
if
I
it has
have
to,
the reality though of demonic hauntings as utterly, totally, 100% separate from all other paranormal activity. Mike, I mentioned earlier before we started recording, like your very first paranormal experience, well, at least your most vivid experience as a
right?
kid, when you saw that floating apparition as a young child when you're sitting there at home watching the special on the Queen Mary. You weren't literally on the Queen Mary. You were
Oh, I
watching
wish
a
I was.
special
Yeah, no,
on
I
the
was on
Queen
my
Mary.
couch and I was watching Midnight Special on the Queen Mary, New Year's Eve.
Yes. Now that apparition you saw, according to well, I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to name sects of belief or religion or anything like that. But a lot of people think that what you saw, Mike, if to believed what you saw was in fact demonic in nature. How do you feel about that? Let's
Well,
start off the conversation with that there.
yeah, it's a good place to start. The fact that when I saw this girl, I had no fear whatsoever. I just watched her go through the living room, the dining room, and the living room. And there's never anything benevolent in that house ever. If it was demonic, you would think it would be there for some reason, and we would be affected by it. If it's an attachment or something like that, or there for somebody. So I just cannot picture this girl that I saw as demonic in any way.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure you meant malevolent, not benevolent. I'm pretty sure. I know you did. I don't mean to
I
step
did.
on you
I
and
did.
all that stuff,
Yeah.
but
But thank you for your
just to be
correction.
sure. No, but just to be sure, because people out there like, oh, what's
Right.
he saying that for?
Yeah.
Oh, geeby
Oh,
gabba
he's
doobly gabba.
wrong. He's
Right.
wrong. But anyway, malevolent.
So now, okay, let's talk about that. Let's work off of that a little bit. You said that you felt nothing, evil in nature coming from that. You didn't feel
Yeah.
bad. You didn't feel scared. You
No
felt
fear.
nothing negative.
Yeah.
Now,
After, yeah.
Now, like an argument towards that for those who believe it was in fact demonic or evil or whatever would say that, well, that's what they want you to feel because they are in fact deceptive.
Hmm.
They want to fake you out. They want you to believe the lie. What say you when it comes to that, Mike? Were you deceived? Were you manipulated into thinking that there was nothing to fear by what you saw?
No, it won't change for anything because I lived in that house for many, many, many years since I was a little kid,
Hmm.
and there was never anything malevolent
I'm sorry. Now, Mike's.
or
I
or
don't mean to like.
no. I
Uh,
wanted to make sure I said it right,
I
but
just feel bad for saying that. Now,
no,
the
no,
moment
no.
I
Well,
said it, I was like,
you had to because it's two totally separate meanings to those words, so
eh.
extreme difference. So I'm glad you did. But anyway, um, yeah, there was just never anything to be afraid of or any feeling of that heaviness or anything. It was just a calm apparition. And when she went into the other hallway and disappeared, I just went back to watching TV. I didn't even react.
I know that part
You
is
know,
always. I love that part. It's always blown me away. It's just. It's like it was meant to be, and you were meant to live like a
right?
life of the paranormal or paranormal experiences, I should say,
Yeah,
because the fact that you didn't even think anything of it. I mean, you did retell the story to your parents when they got
yeah.
home.
And when I was retelling the story, I did get excited about it. Not afraid, but excited because it's like, man, this was really something. And my mom and dad
Yeah,
believed me right away. And my dad, the first thing he said was if I tried to talk to her. And I said, no, I just, watched her go through.
and I
So,
love that. I love that, Mike, that your dad
yeah.
was so open minded about it.
Hmm.
Instead of going, "Oh, you silly boy, you didn't see anything, go to bed,"
Right.
or your mind was playing tricks on you, he simply asked you, "Goes, well, did you try and talk to it?" I love that. I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah. He was always like that. Such a believer, I'm sure, all of his life. And he's where I got so much inspiration and knowledge
Hmm.
about different things. And it's why I knew about, as a little kid, I knew about uh, Bigfoot or Stonehenge or Loch Ness Monster, little kid, you know, yeah, it was
Now,
good.
at a younger age, was your dad deceived and manipulated by the devil, Mike, to get him
Oh,
into all this stuff? See,
yeah.
that's how.
So
Hmm.
the deception was um, making sure that I grew up in this evil world of the paranormal and to suffer for it. No, I haven't been suffering. I I've enjoyed this life of the paranormal, and when things happen here, I still am like, oh well, that was cool, you
I
know,
know,
and that
and just so
irritates you.
casually. Yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah, something falls out of the air on my head. Oh, wow, I think my dad might be here.
I know.
But I love it though. I love it.
Well, something that just popped into my brain too that is pertaining to our discussion here. Back in the day, and I won't name names. Longtime listeners will probably know who I'm talking about. But there was an old flame, a female friend back in the day
Ah, Dorothy.
of mine. Yes, Dorothy, who
Private joke there.
was
Anyway, who was? She was a very nice girl though. But anyway, go ahead.
okay. Now you totally got me bamboozled here, and I went
Discombobulated.
astray, discombobulated. My mind went astray. Okay, I'm focused. One, two, three, four. Restart. Her mother
Hmm.
was a gosh. How do I say it? Have you ever seen the movie Carrie?
Oh, many times. Read the book many
The
times.
the Stephen King
Yeah.
classic.
Piper Laurie. You're talking about Carrie's mother.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now
Wicked.
the way that she was portrayed in the movie, I haven't read the book, so I don't know if
Oh, it's
it
fantastic.
was if her portrayal in the movie was pretty good as compared to how it was written in the book. I don't know, but I just going by how I saw this character portrayed in the movie. That's what I got from this flame. I hate even using that term. An ex-girlfriend, whatever.
Dorothy.
That's the absolutely right, Dorothy. That's the vibe I got from her, and that's
Really?
not an exaggeration at
About
all.
about Piper Laure's character, the mother?
Yes.
Okay, I wanted to make that
So,
clear.
yes, the ex's mother was just like
Okay.
that. So much so, like because you and I were good friends back then, and we were just kind of really getting into our ghost hunting days. And yes, she came along once or twice. I
Mm-hmm.
don't remember exactly. Her mother was flippin' freaked out that she was doing that
Mm.
because she was in fear of her bringing home the devil.
An
And
attachment.
we're not talking about me. I mean, I'm a harmless little twit. Okay, we're talking about what I was into and what you and I were into and what we were
And are
dragging
still
her.
into.
Yes, dragging her innocent daughter into type thing. She thought it was all just not cool. And you'd walk into her house, and again, whatever, more power to her. But it's you walk in and I felt almost intimidated just because you'd see like a ginormous crucifix hanging in the entryway.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's like, okay, this is
The
what I'm walking
angels of
into.
singing.
So that's why this pertains to this conversation. A
Right.
lot of people truly believe, Mike, that
Right.
all things ghostly, all things paranormal, or I'm even talking about UFOs, Bigfoot,
Right.
cryptids, all of us wacko weirdos believe in that nonsensical, bizarre, ludicrous stuff. All of it is enwrapped in this tiny little, well, not so tiny, this tiny little demonic bubble.
Mm-hmm.
I don't personally agree with it. I mean, shockingly, I'm not revealing anything new there. But are we wrong by not believing in it, Mike? That's the point of this
Nah.
discussion.
Nah.
Nah, easy as that.
No. We got to keep going. We'll get there.
Eventually, hopefully, right? So we must make clear too, though, as far as our disagreement with all things paranormal being demonic in nature, there is such a thing as demonic hauntings.
Absolutely.
100% we believe in that. Is that safe to say, Mike? I don't want to
Oh,
speak for you. I mean,
no. Absolutely. If you speak for me and it's wrong, I will let you know.
okay. Well, thank you very, very much. I appreciate that. What to you, Mike, are some of the main differences? Again, I love throwing you on the spot, but what pops in your brain here? And we're bantering back and forth. We're feeding off of each other. That's what we do here on the Paranormal Zone. What pops into your mind as the main differences between, I'm doing air quotes, the average, benign, harmless, benevolent haunting compared to a demonic haunting? What
Mm.
comes into your mind?
Well, the regular benign ghost spirits, whatever that will be around. I mean, that mean no harm, and they can be helpful even to a certain degree.
God damn it! Why'd you have to make me laugh like that? Good God, I sound like a pig. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
Thought you were choking on something.
I did. I did.
But anyway, now where the hell was I at? Okay, no, I got it.
Okay.
You know, they aren't there for a purpose to get something. I mean, I'm not saying that never happens because there are earthbound spirits that have an agenda. If they of the intelligent um uh ghost or whatever. They are
The intelligent variety.
right, exactly. The but a haunting, and I can use mine as a reference again, that there is never any, feel of that they were there for a reason or there to hurt somebody. It was so
Sure.
calm.
I think you said agenda. That's a
It,
key word. Like,
sure, sure, sure.
no agenda. They're dealing almost.
Yeah, it's like crossing paths, and
Hmm.
that's where we are. And oh well, I'll see you a little later, probably, whatever. but
See you later.
like we see the ghost cat and everything here, but the demonic haunting, that's where the agenda comes in. That's where there's a purpose that is for
Mm,
their own benefit, for their fun, why ever they do it, for you know for their master, whatever. Um, they are there to target somebody. They're attracted to somebody that's vulnerable, and 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 it's
I
an
like that.
attack. It's a battle between. That's where the battle between the good and the evil starts, if that can be identified. Like, we've done shows on extreme demonic possessions and um, uh, exorcisms and things like that. You're not going to need anything like that with a benign entity. I mean, if there's you got a cranky ghost in your house or something, that does pranks, or your uh, um, poltergeist activity, have your house blessed. You don't need to do more than that. I mean, and that would help even if it wasn't haunted or you're having an issue.
An issue, yes.
Yeah, I would like a tissue for that issue, please. But
Well, even
anyway,
I, a couple of the key words that you said there. You said like pranks or and again you throw out benign. I don't know if you said
poltergeisty.
yeah. I don't know if you said playful or not. I might have been imagining things, but I mean, and you throw out have your house blessed. That's all. That's for those who feel the need to have their house blessed. I mean, maybe they aren't necessarily feeling uncomfortable with the paranormal activity in their house. They feel like there is
Sure.
no need to have it blessed, right?
Sure.
Maybe, perhaps. Another thing that popped into my brain, Mike, um, when you were talking about demonic activity or demonic attachments, demonic hauntings, and you threw out the possibility of these demons having fun with you.
Hmm.
I wrote down the word fun and I underlined it
Hmm.
because I wondered, like, is it possible for demons to have fun
Mm.
at what we know as and what we understand it to be as fun? I
Well,
mean, are they truly having this a joyous feeling?
I wouldn't think so. They probably aren't capable of that. But
Right, right.
you
Because
know,
fun to me seems like it doesn't go hand in hand with demonic activity. But
yeah,
again,
right.
backtracking to other topics back in the day and newer ones, stuff that we find ourselves fascinated with for various reasons. You know, the true crime stories, the serial killers. We hear so often over and over again how these awful, awful, yes, evil people had quote unquote fun torturing their victims. They
Hmm.
had quote unquote fun keeping them alive for days before finally murdering them, and so on and so forth. Is that truly fun?
No,
I guess to them it is in their
well,
wicked, warped minds, but to
maybe
everyone
it's
else, no.
more of a satisfaction feeling that they get. That takes
Great,
more of the emotion out of
great
it for
way. Yes,
fun or happy.
great way of
So
putting it.
so uh, so say that there's a person that is being so beaten down by a demonic spirit. Um, Damn it, I lost my place.
That's okay. That
Um,
happens.
but
You're thinking about fun. You're thinking about
oh
fun
yeah,
and
the
like yeah,
satisfaction. I'm
yes.
sorry, but anyway, I can picture a demon doing this to a human being for the satisfaction and for uh, maybe the misery and miserable feeling, if they can even feel that, the dread, the torment that these demons have to go through from their master or whatever, if they're from hell or whatever.
Oh, that's
It's like
another great way of looking at it.
maybe it's a matter of lashing out, and you know he's not going to be, or it's not going to be um, going through that on its own. or
Mm-hmm.
is it something from hell? And if you believe in a Satan, is he wherever hell is sending out these demons with specific missions to do, and they're just following what they
I
are
like
told
that.
to do?
I like that. Yeah, they're not. They're miserable in their own
Right,
way. I mean, I love it, Mike. My mind is spinning right now when you. I mean, it's impossible for us to even begin to remotely understand or comprehend what's going on
right,
in. I'm doing the air quotes in the mind of a demon because I mean, do
right.
they even have a mind? I mean, what is it? What are they? It's a
It's an
whole other ball of
it's
wax.
an energy that I don't know. Uh,
Mike's brain is on fire. I love
it
it.
is, it is, it is. Okay, so now also too, what I had in thought of is, um, you know, demons. They have to come from somewhere. They have to be created. Whether Satan, air quotes, creates them, maybe just right from the beginning, wherever they come from, just like souls come from wherever heaven is, if you believe that or whatever. There's a place where the exact opposite is from, and they're made to do this, and there's no thought process at all. It's like maybe it's like a something that is so programmed, if you want to put it that way, that it's like you just let them go, and they automatically do their whatever it is they do without even thinking about it or having a thought or a feel about it. Maybe they aren't even capable of that, but just doing what is expected of them or what they were created for. I'm
Damn.
rambling. I'm rambling, but
No, no, no. That's great. And you know what popped in my brain right there again.
what?
Um, I know I'm not sure if you've read the Lord of the Rings books. I know you're a fan. You appreciate J.R. Tolkien. J.R.R. Tolkien,
Absolutely.
sorry, and his brilliant imagination and his whole world that he created. But what popped in my mind, Mike, when you were saying that, was um, the orcs. I don't know how familiar
Sure.
you
Oh yeah.
are with those
I
beings, but
I know they're quite attractive.
absolutely, oh, very handsome,
Yeah, they
handsome young
drool a lot.
fellows. But they were quite literally created, like you said, Mike, out of like. And I don't want to upset any Lord of the Rings fans out there for not getting all the details right,
Yeah,
but they were created to do the bidding of evil. That's what they were.
the
They were
bidding of evil.
conceived to do that. And once they were brought upon in this existence, that's exactly what they did. That's all they set out to do until they were dead themselves.
Right. So that's perfectly my point. That last point that I made. But I didn't. I love the stories and I've seen movies, but I did not realize that that was what they, what where they came from and what their
Kind of,
purpose
yeah.
was.
That has to be a basis for that.
Yeah.
I don't think it was coincidental. J.R.R. Tolkien was a Christian, uh, for
I,
sure.
mhm,
Um, and that's a whole other story between J.R.R. Tolkien and the author C.S. Lewis. Those guys were
mhm.
best friends,
Ron
and
L. Hubbard.
well,
Just sorry.
anyway,
Man,
moving on.
I hate it when I
Wait,
make Patrick's head drop so quickly. Anyway,
damn it! I've been pressing my mute button because I've been trying not to have people hear me laugh, and I missed my mute on that one. So I'm sorry, boys and girls.
have a little
Okay,
bit
Mike.
of joviality here. Let's laugh.
Yeah, is that a word?
Sheesh.
Sure it
I don't
is.
know.
Perusing my wonderfully professional notes again, I'm going down to now again, Mike. Since we mentioned it earlier about our investigating days,
Hmm.
I wrote down: Are we, as in you and I, or paranormal investigators in general, or anyone even interested in the paranormal, are we dabbling with danger, Mike? Are we messing with evil by simply being interested in the paranormal? Are we asking for trouble by bringing out our digital recorders? Are we going to be deceived? Are we going to be manipulated? Are we going to be duped by the devil? What do you
There
think about that?
there is that possibility. When we have done these things, wherever we've gone. We've never known what to expect,
No, absolutely not.
which is kind of a scary thing. I mean, um, you know, you gotta respect the what you're going there for. You need to respect the entities. You have to have all of that in mind. And protection. I mean, if you're Christian, uh, pray, whatever. But I mean, the thing is that I think you're more likely gonna run into just spirits that have passed away, and like we've said before, as they are in life, they are in death. I mean, you get some guy that's just a complete jerk, or you get
They're going to be a jerk.
you get a serial killer, for instance, like we've talked about. Um, uh, they're gonna come across as what they were, what they did. I mean, or being so angry that they may be trapped somewhere, or they don't know what to do or where to go. Confusion, anger, frustration. I mean, you're gonna feel that, and I think before you have some kind of a demonic attachment, or unless you're Zach Bagans, because you weakly, you know, but but
Oh,
that's
yeah,
him.
he's possessed every other day
Yeah.
apparently. So,
So,
but that's okay. We all
mhm.
love Zach. Open invite, Zach. Open invite. Anyone
which
on the Ghost
oh,
Adventures crew who may be listening right now, we know you aren't. Hey, you
yeah.
can come here anytime. Trust us.
Uh,
Trust us. It's an open invite.
Yes, but as a side note of what you were just saying, I've told you that I've really been binge watching the Sam and Colby YouTube program,
Yes, yes, you have.
and I just was introduced to them, not having knowledge of them just recently. I'm surprised I didn't know of these guys, but watching their show is absolutely fantastic, and
Yeah, you are just glowing about this
it's
show.
awesome. But they actually did an investigation in Zach Bagans' haunted museum.
Oh, they did.
And boy,
Really?
is that an episode you need to see. The Dubik box. They went and they messed around with that. Um, um, the haunted rocking chair. The death chair. They were dealing with. They even sat in the chair,
Now,
which
when they were messing with the Dybbuk box, did Zach Bagans emerge from the box?
no, like a wispy, muscular cloud.
A wispy tattooed
Yeah,
cloud with a
yeah,
pair of glasses.
yeah, yeah,
Oh, we love Zach. We love him so much.
yeah.
Um, we kid very good naturedly because we love the guy. Regardless of what anyone else may think or say of him, the guy has brought so much notoriety, whether you think it's good or not, to the world of paranormal investigating. I mean, he's climbed to the mountaintop of renowned paranormal investigators. Mike, you got to take your hat off to him.
Oh
You
yeah,
really do.
but I'm gonna leave my hat on. But I
Oh, sure, sure.
I didn't wash my hair today, so
Yeah, I've always wondered that too. Like if you casually met someone you highly regarded and respected, and you happen to be wearing a hat, would you just go up to him and take your hat off? And hats off to you, sir. I just
no.
never I don't. I get it. It's based in old timey stuff. I
Well, yeah,
understand that, but it's just hats off to you, good sir. Oh shit! I dropped my hat. So, anyways,
yeah. And then Zach steps on it as he passes by you.
yes, exactly. And he puts it between his forearm and his bicep and flexes to crush it.
Yeah.
Arr, there it goes. Anyway, sorry.
Boy, Zach can crush a hat. Let's see you rip a telephone book in half.
Yeah,
Anyway,
no crap. Come on, Zach, do that, man.
uh, we're messing with
Maybe
him too
his
much now.
maybe his next possession that will happen.
Yeah.
So, Mike, where were we? Oh, hauntings, devilish hauntings. I believe you briefly touched on the fact of, or not the fact, the idea that we've discussed about evil in life, evil in death.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Obviously, that pertains to our topic at hand. Born evil, Mike. Do you believe in the idea of? And we're not getting off topic here, but it is absolutely related to this. is one born evil? Do they become evil, Mike? Is it in
Mm.
fact something that they are taught, that they accept, that they are presented? And I mean, what do you feel? Do you think someone is truly demonic the moment they enter this physical realm?
Well, uh, have you ever seen the movie Rosemary's Baby or The
I
Omen?
I have. Yes, I have.
Yeah.
So that's your answer. Okay.
Well, I could elaborate on it a bit.
Well, you don't have to. You don't have to because I mean, I get it. It's
Yeah.
it's
Right.
it's it's a little off topic, but I think it's important to throw that out there
Right.
because
And if there is an antichrist, or will be, some say that he's here now, but if there is an antichrist, that has got to be born evil coming into the world, like Jesus came into the world pure goodness. The antichrist exists; he's born on this earth as pure evil.
hmm hmm
So in that case, yeah, unless the mother, when she was pregnant, she took too many Tylenol or something. I don't know. At least you,
Uh-huh.
at least you didn't drop
Uh-huh.
your head that time.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Moist.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Damn it.
sorry, I had to play it out quite a bit for you to get a reaction there. So I'm sorry.
You know,
That's Mike's all time favorite.
you
It's
could
his all time
probably
favorite.
you could probably make money off of that soundbite in the deep dark underworld somewhere.
Absolutely, man.
Ow!
Yes, I agree. Woo,
Anyway,
Mike. To quote Yoda,
yes,
you know Yoda.
Yoda. Does he
You,
smell like Chewie? No, never mind. Yeah,
he smells.
I
He
think he
smells
smells more.
green.
I think he smells more amphibian or fish like, maybe, but I don't know. But I don't want to
Moist.
get you off track. That is a moist, shiny frog thing with big ears. Anyway, go ahead.
Whew. As the late great Yoda said, Mike,
Yes,
the dark side clouds everything.
yes.
In this
Well,
case, the dark side devilish, the dark side demonic,
right.
the dark side deceptive.
So is that Yoda admitting to the fact that the dark side? Well, he wouldn't be admitting it because it didn't come out that way. But the dark side is so much evil that it's overtaking the good side. But
Very possibly.
right, but
100%.
when you think about Darth Vader, he wanted Luke to be his, like, you know his mini me, I guess you could say.
His protege, for sure.
Yes, exactly. So the evil was absolutely trying to spread and cover. You know,
Well, and it's funny that you mentioned Darth Vader
Mhm.
as well. I mean, I brought up Yoda, obviously, so it's kind of natural
Yeah, it was your
to
fault.
transition to Darth Vader, other main characters in the Star Wars saga, obviously. Longtime listeners know I'm a huge fan, and I find so many parallels in spirituality and the story of Star Wars. I mean, they're
Sure,
plain as day.
right,
It's
exactly.
no revelation there at all. No revelation. Everyone knows that. Plain as day. Uh, you had mentioned earlier about demons slash devils, impossible for them to truly ever feel joy, obviously, or have what we called quote unquote fun, because they're just doing the bidding. They're doing the dirty work
Yeah,
of their master. They have
right,
no almost it's almost like they have no thought, right? They're
yeah,
just kind of um, controlled,
right. They were not given that process of intelligent thinking,
right?
because possibly, if there was, it could get in the way of what their mission is, what they're supposed to do,
What the
how
master
how
wanted.
exactly how hard they're supposed to hit somebody, as in, demonic possession.
hmm
Yeah. or attachment, whatever.
Well, Vader was truly for a long time doing the bidding, doing the dirty work for his master, Emperor Palpatine.
Right.
But what saved Vader was because Vader was not conceived by the quote unquote devil. He was
Right.
conceived by the Force. He turned to evil. Yes, he
Right.
committed atrocities, but the good that was in him, always in him, prevailed, and he destroyed his master. Impossible for these, again, air quotes, devils, demons, to do so. So, Mike, that said, when we say the devil's haunting, and we say that all hauntings, paranormal activity is, quote, demonic in nature, are we saying that there is an omnipotent, for lack of a better term, evil presence, just like we believe that there is an almighty good, and Christians believe that Jesus was the son of the almighty good? Is there, in fact, an, I don't want to say almighty, but is there an omnipotence, so to speak, evil out there dispersing its minions?
Yes.
Because there is a difference. Is it I'll just say it, is it Satan who's dispatching his demons? We're going down any number of paths right now, and we're going to talk about maybe personal beliefs if you are comfortable with it. But what do you think about that possibility?
I think that's I was distracted by my dogs. You just a little tiny blip of what you said.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
They both came in here and they were like, I'm getting a little crazy. But go ahead.
Do you personally, Mike, feel that there is a possibility, for argument's sake, that if some hauntings are demonic in nature, that they are controlled by, for lack of a better term, again, a Satan, so to speak, an omnipotent evil, just as there, like I said earlier, there is an omnipotent, all-knowing, overwhelming, everywhere spiritual good. Is there also an omnipotent, everywhere spiritual bad, an evil that is controlling all?
All of what all in his dominion controlling.
Yes.
Not in ours. Or working on it and doing what that's the demonic work, I guess.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like there has to be that balance, that dark side. Again,
Yep.
the Star Wars reference, the dark side and the light side.
Right.
So the casual, benign, harmless hauntings, let's say that they are coming from the good side, but all the other ones, what we're talking about in this episode, the quote unquote devil's hauntings, they are all in fact underneath the umbrella of one evil presence.
Right. Yeah, like you said, that balance, the good and the evil. I don't think you could have one without the other. And that comes down to where all of us as human beings, whether you're Christian or not, or what you believe in, we have that choice to make which direction to go. And, knowing that,
free will, baby.
yep. And, being that there is something on the dark side, if you want to put it that way again, that is sending these. You know what I'm trying to get at.
Sending its minions.
Yeah, just
to do its dirty work.
Yeah, it's like God sending out angels, protecting angels.
Absolutely.
And I believe very much in that. Things that people go through that they cannot understand how they made it through it, or people in a fire and they're guided out by this glowing being. But yeah, both sides. Take your choice.
I mean, I personally think it's fascinating to think about it, and I believe it. I believe, again, with the, and I'm overusing this word, and I apologize, the omnipotent good versus the omnipotent, if there is such a thing, evil.
Yeah.
Where believers will tell you that yes, there is a God who knows all, and he knows all the feelings, all the thoughts, and he understands the dreams and the words of all of his followers, her followers, its followers, what have you. I also think it's very possible that the same could be said for the evil side of it, where, let's say, Mike, you happen to experience a malevolent haunting, and you're one of millions of people who have experienced a demonic haunting, that perhaps there is that all, I hate using this phrase, all knowing evil presence that in fact knows exactly what you have experienced, Mike, because that demonic haunting was under its control. And he or it or she or whatever it was is fully aware of it because it is actually controlling it. That's kind of my rambling way of saying
So
I believe it for
yeah.
sure.
But so are you saying that my possibly, well, the hauntings and the experiences that I have had could have possibly been directed by that
Well,
dark
what
evil? Is it
one thing that popped in my brain, Mike, was the shadow person that you saw.
right?
And I'm not saying that you felt anything, because you didn't. You didn't feel any fear. You didn't feel any uncomfortable senses. Nothing
No.
at all. You and I'm not suggesting that it was, but I'm
Mhm.
suggesting that there might be a possibility that you have maybe experienced both. You've experienced the malevolent, and you've experienced the benevolent. More so the benign, the benevolent. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
But maybe again, Satan has sent out his minions, Mike, to try and grab your attention during some of your hauntings,
Hmm.
some of your experiences. Sorry, I shouldn't say hauntings, some of your paranormal experiences. Are you open to that possibility?
Mm.
Or
Well,
are you,
I think
are you just not by it because you don't feel it?
I don't really feel it, but the thought of it can make sense.
Hmm. It
Uh,
could. Does it necessarily? No, but
well,
it
but
could.
yeah, but I mean, I still wonder to what end would that be? Would that have been done?
Right.
Because um, there was never any feeling of that.
But again, that's the deceptive nature, Mike. The
Yeah,
deceptive
I
nature.
yeah, but like to what end? What I mean is, it did it get him uh, something over me? Did he get something from that?
Did he gain something? Did
Did
the
he gain
devil gain
something?
something?
Yeah, I don't feel like I've lost anything
Hmm.
like that. Like if some entity or energy like that would take it, I throughout everything that I've experienced.
What's the cliched saying, Mike? Like the devil's greatest accomplishment or the devil's greatest trick was convincing the world that he didn't exist?
Hmm. Yeah,
Something to ponder, perhaps.
but then
I could be. I know I'm butchering the exact
yeah,
wording, but I think I got it fairly correct.
there's been plenty of believers that know over over the entire existence of human beings.
Oh, I know. I
You
get
know,
it. I'm just trying to make it difficult for you to sleep tonight.
oh, that's nothing's going to do that.
I know. I'm just kidding. All right, Mike. We time's running out here. I want to throw out this question here. It's thought provoking, and we're not trying to get under the skin of anybody. We're not. To each their own. Man, we love everybody who's listening to us right now. More power to you, or whatever you choose to believe, and do not take any offense to this question. It's just for conversational purposes. I mentioned this to you earlier tonight to Mike.
Mhm.
Um, because I give Mike a good natured rib every now and then about his reborn Christianism. Or
Oh, I'm sorry if it offends you, Patrick.
no, I think it's awesome. You know
My
why?
word.
You know why I think it's awesome?
I can
Right. That's
Because
why.
I can,
And
I got
because
feeling for you.
and I'm
Mhm.
happy for you. So it's not that I don't give
Diddly poo,
sorry, I shouldn't have pulled out my media here now. I do love this one though.
diddly poo.
Diddly poo. Anyways,
Hmm.
sorry. So hey, it's right there. Say hello.
Hmm. buttons.
Yay! Okay.
The password is buttons.
So,
Anyway,
and again, and Mike, longtime listeners know I was raised a Catholic.
right.
Longtime listeners know I have very strong feelings, positive feelings about Christianity. I have very strong feelings, both sides, obviously, that no one cares about, and I'm not going to bore them to death. And I really, really appreciate how you feel and how you've come around to so many different aspects of our thoughts
Right.
and our discussions going back 20 some years when it comes to faith and belief in a higher power, so to speak. So I want to ask you this one, Mike. Why would, and this is according to the Bible, right?
Okay.
Why would a non-believer, why would someone who does not believe that Jesus Christ was the Son of God, someone who didn't believe that for whatever reason, they could be a wonderful person, they could
Mhm.
be a loving family man, a loving mother,
Giving, compassionate,
giving, compassionate,
volunteer
philanthropic.
firemen.
Yeah, right. Back in the day, volunteer firemen,
Yeah,
any number of things. You get what I'm saying.
I do.
Why would someone of that ilk, why would they be banished to eternal suffering
Well,
by an all-loving God?
but I got
I
a
know it's
question.
it's a cliched question, but why would they be banished to eternal suffering?
What does an elk have to do with what
Oh,
you're talking
ilk,
about?
ilk.
Yes.
Okay.
No pointy horns on that one.
No horny pointy.
Anyway.
No horny pointy. Nothing like that.
Well,
Right.
Oh boy.
So I'm asking him, Mike, to wrap up the show. What do you think about that? I mean, you're not going to offend anybody. No one's listening, anyways.
I hate it when you say that.
I'm kidding. I say it because
No, I know. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Don't get so defensive.
No, me defensive. I say it because I. Right.
Now, damn it, what the hell was the question? Oh no, never mind. I got it.
You got it.
You know, so what you're
God, this
saying?
episode has flown by. I love it.
I know what you're saying though. Then is if there's a man that is like, say, just a, born and true atheist, not a demon worshiper, not a Satanist, but an atheist. Now, just the word atheist alone doesn't mean that man or person can't be that compassionate, be that giving, be that, hub of the community, a wonderful person, a
Of course not.
truly wonderful person, not just putting on a show.
Absolutely.
It's just that they have a different theological belief.
100%.
Why then are you okay? You're saying then why would that person, being as good as he is, just wonderful, stellar person, if he, being an atheist, will never be, say, whatever you want to call it, reborn or be
saved.
Being saved. Yes, exactly.
No, not even that.
Why?
They'd be banished to hell.
Right. That's what I mean. Without doing that, they would be banished to hell. It doesn't matter what kind of person you were. It's just a matter of the fact that you didn't acknowledge and believe in Jesus Christ.
Yes, and you did not accept him as your Lord and Savior.
Yeah. So why would a man that should not suffer for his daily and his lifetime,
that's what I'm asking. That's what we're getting to. And I understand. It's a tough one to swallow because
it is.
And again, it's something we have to make clear. I'm no biblical scholar by any flippin' means. Of course I'm not. But to my knowledge, and in my opinion, I follow and agree with, I tend to agree with and vibe with and relate to the words of Jesus himself far more than
Speak it to me,
99,
brother.
99% of what's written in the Bible,
Preach,
right?
preach.
That's what I'm saying. Yes, hallelujah, praise the Lord.
Now we
It's
lost everybody.
well, the episode's almost over,
No, but
anyways.
anyway,
So to me, that's always been a tough pill to swallow.
okay.
I don't understand that an all loving, all caring God
Okay,
would
he
do that.
well, no, okay, put it this way. In this, I'm trying to process this. I don't know. This is just thoughts that I'm having as we're having this discussion. But
Yes.
okay, in the beginning of a person's life, as they're growing and progressing, and getting into life, or we are born with that free will, that choice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
he chose. It's whether is it whether he was ignorant of the fact, and I don't want to say ignorant because it's not. I just mean that as a not knowing
No, right,
of
exactly.
of of uh, of that. I mean, it would be hard to think that somebody wasn't knowledgeable, even an atheist, that that you have that choice. If you believe in Jesus Christ, you're going to heaven. If you don't, you're going to hell. If they knew that, and you know uh, they make their own choice. That's what we were given, that free will, that free choice. So
Mm-hmm.
it's his choice that he decided to live that way. So does that make it that because of his choice, not because of not believing, but well, with that as well, but it was his choice to go that way, that alone is enough to make him not be able to go to heaven. Just the fact of that,
So
just the free will, the choice.
so are you? And man, I knew I shouldn't have brought this up because I want to talk about this for like another 5 hours.
Well, part two,
Um,
huh?
part two. I feel what you're saying there. So it's almost the vibe I got from you there is that yeah, I'm giving you free will, but at the same time, you better give me the right answer. That's kind of
No,
what I'm getting.
well, no.
Because if you don't, you're kind of spitting in my face because
I
I'm giving you the option.
but God would
All you
not.
have to do is choose the right one.
God would not take it that way. If you're, a God Christian believing, um, it's the well. Think of it this way, and I don't want to talk like I'm preaching or religion, but um, he was given the great gift of having a choice, like we all have been.
Yes,
And
I agree.
if you refuse that gift, um, that's your choice. And as far as I'm concerned, speaking of God, um, there is no anger, or there could be a disappointment, I think, that God could have, but
Kind of
knowing
like
that he,
one of your kids like
yeah,
does something wrong.
right,
you'll love them to death, but it's like, oh,
yeah,
really?
and God knows that he gave you that free will. So and to give you that free will, he's got to expect there's going to be countless people choosing the other side. To them, that's not the wrong side, but it gets
But to,
but the consequences are that they live by that knowledge that they have.
mhm.
They go where they're supposed to go. I don't know, because of the choices.
Yes, and by definition, hell is eternal suffering and damnation, right?
Right. Hmm. I
So I
guess.
guess to simplify it, it's just impossible for me to wrap my mind around the idea of yeah, you are an awesome, wonderful person, but for whatever reason you chose not to accept me as your Lord, so therefore you are banished for eternal damnation and suffering. I'm an all loving and all knowing and all caring and all forgiving, but yet at the same time, see you later. You're going to suffer
Yeah.
forever.
Well,
It's
that's
just tough for me. That's
well,
all. That's all I'm saying.
that's thoughts and feelings that's another countless number of people
Oh yeah,
have. You know.
yeah. I get it. I totally get it. And it's you know what I almost feel like this should be a part one of a awesome topic, Mike. I think that that we very well could possibly continue this sometime down the road. If we get positive feedback from the listeners, I would love to dive into this again.
Yeah.
I think this would be absolutely fantastic if
Yeah.
you're up for it.
Oh, I would be absolutely, but it's not like we're trying to be churchy or anything
No, absolutely not.
in
Of
any
course
way
not.
at all. So
Well, the best way to prove that we're not churchy is just
Uh-huh.
well, I'm just saying. Okay, we better wrap it up, Mike. This has been awesome. When I said this episode has flown by, and that's great, I didn't mean to say yes. This is flown by. We're almost done. I'm saying when you're having a good time,
yeah,
time tends to fly, and
Right.
this is one of those occasions, Mike. But it is, in fact, time to wrap it up. Again, if you guys haven't checked out our chat with Ron Moorhead, video chat, yeah, you get to see both Mike and me and Ron Moorhead. Ron's in the middle with his awesome hat on, and it looks great.
funky bushy beard.
His funky bushy beard. Yeah, if you're interested in Bigfoot Sasquatch, please go check that out. Share the link, spread the news that we are now YouTube exclusive. We're kind of starting over. We understand that, so we need all the help we can get. Let everyone know where you can find us. All of our links are on our social media page. You can check us out everywhere: Instagram, Facebook, the Twit, X, whatever the hell you want to call it.
Mhm.
And we have the YouTube link there. Just click on it, subscribe, and yeah, we'd appreciate it very, very much. Mike, this has
We
been a
are
blast.
YouTubers.
We are official YouTubers. Yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
Okay.
Mike,
Okay.
before we sign off, what do our paranormal pals need to do, my friend?
Just peace out.